So, ich weiß ja nicht, ob das noch Teil der alten Folge wird. Ich muss halt schauen, wie lange jetzt dieser Part wird. Je nachdem, wie lange der Part wird, wird das jetzt eine eigene Folge oder schneide ich halt an den Teil vorher ran. Then let's go. There's no time to waste. We ran from wall to wall, taking cover between each time. Whenever we had the chance, we would pick up what looked like a gun and see if it was real. We only had seconds to check for each one. Damien was hot on our trail. A gunshot rang out, blowing a hole through the wall Cat and I were hiding behind. What's the matter? You are like two rats in a lab. He fired again. Shrapnel from the walls grabbed my arm. Fuck. It was like my arm had been lit on fire. Dread, you okay? I will live. Don't worry, we need to find the weapon. And we need to find the switch. We ran behind another wall, narrowly dodging another shot from Damien. It dawned on me he wasn't even trying to hit us, he was trying to make us scared. And it was working, but why? He's reloading, come on. We dashed out from behind the wall and ran past Damien, looking desperately for the switch and for any weapon we could find. I managed to pick up two pistols, Cat did the same. Damn, looks like they are fake too. How is yours looking? I took a look at the first one. Upon further inspection, it was clear it was no more than a plastic toy. But the second one. Cat realized it's the same second I did. It was real, with a single bullet loaded. Alright, that's good, let's... Another two shots rang out, blowing a hole in the wall, just next to where my head was a second ago. Fuck. How come he gets that fucking hand cannon? The budget's got to go somewhere, I guess. Anyway, we've got the gun. That's probably the only real one in the stadium. We need to find the switch now. Even with a gun, we are no match for him. Sounds good to me. We ran further through the stadium, opposite the entrance, until we were square in the middle of the stadium. And there it was. The switch. You didn't think they would have hit it better? Damien's laugh echoed through the arena as he reappeared on the screen above the arena. Congrats, you have found the switch. It's a damn shame I forgot to mention something about the switch here. It won't do jack shit even if you both have access, as long as I've got a heartbeat. And I plan on sticking around. But I'm not heartless. In fact, I think I'm a pretty decent guy for what I'm about to do. Cat looked like she had just seen a ghost. Cat, Dread, I've got an offer you can't refuse, but only one of you can claim it. If either of you kills the other one, I will let the one left standing go. We will forget this ever happened and call it a wrap on find love or die trying. I will even let the survivor leave the island. I can even guarantee I'm telling the truth, because this is airing live to the world right now. People bow down and get in line because I tell them the truth, because they know I keep my word. They wouldn't believe me for a second if I ever went back on it, you know? Not a bad deal, huh? Especially considering that if no one takes that offer, I will just kill both of you. I'm giving you 5 minutes to decide, then I'm coming for you. The screen shut off. Cat and I looked at each other, a mix of horror and fear on her face, and there was no doubt that mine mirrored her. Dread, I can't imagine what's racing through your head right now. You probably think I'm going to betray you again, right? I was at a loss for words. You don't have to say anything. Look, I can't blame you for doubting me. And honestly, if you just hurt me right now, I would be okay with it. Because then you would be free to go. I know Damien will keep his word. But if there's even the slightest chance that you want me to be able to escape from here too, then I need to ask you something that I know sounds insane. What is that? I need you to give me the gun, the only real one we've got. Look, I'm not stupid enough to know how that sounds. The simple reality is, I have known you for so long now, and one thing I know about you is that you are a terrible shot. Me, I am as good as you can get on this island. I think I am our best bet to taking him down. but I understand completely if you're not willing to trust me. If you think I'm lying, I get it. And if you don't trust me, she will close her eyes and press the finger against her forehead. Then please just make it quick. The gun in my head never felt so heavy. On one hand, I guarantee that I can make it out here alive. On the other, trusting Cat. Can I trust Cat after all that she has done to me? Can I really believe her words when the memories that can prove or deny them are lost to them? I've got no time, I have to choose. Ich speichere erstmal. Und ich entscheide mich, nicht Cat zu vertrauen. I trust you, Cat. I held out the gun to her. You do. After everything I've done. After everything you've done, yes, I still trust you. I know you've been forced to do some awful things to people that didn't deserve it. But I know there's good in you, and I believe in that good. Take it. Thank you, Dread. She took the gun from my hand. I won't let you down. Well, if you do, it's not like I would be around for long enough to regret it. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Let's do this. We decided to seek Damien out and try to get the drop on him, rather than waiting for him to add the switch. My heart was practically beating out of my chest. I couldn't tell if Cat was as nervous as I was. If she was, she hid it. With the same poker face she always had. We dashed toward another wall for cover, looked around and repeated. How much time has passed? It feels like we have been looking for him for hours with the pressure, so I know it can't be more than a few minutes. As the minutes passed by, I could tell Cat was growing more and more impatient. She trained her gun wherever she looked, her trigger finger ready to shoot our only bullet at any time. Left, right. I glanced around, then looked to her and back again. Her hands were shaking. Left, look right. We've only got one shot to make or break it. Look back at Cat. She's checking a corner ahead of us. She looks left, she looks right. It takes everything I have to stay focused. Don't think about dying, not even the possibility. She turns to look back at me again. Oh no. Damien's walking closer and closer from behind her, with his gun resting on his shoulder. He can't be more than 10 meters away. He slowly lifts the gun off from its resting position. Before I know it, I'm running towards her with everything I have. Something is making me run, something I have forgotten. Something I am just starting to remember. It's the two of us at the beach. I can see it now. How many hours has it been? We made it to the ship, but it wasn't enough. The alarms were deafening. Security was going to be here in any minute. And our only saving grace, our ship wouldn't start. That's it then. I've never heard Cat ever so desperate. Well, at least we tried, right? Who else can say that? She lowered her head and leaned on me. No, we are not giving up just yet. There's nothing we can do. The engine's broken. And the guards will be here any minute. You've got at least some weapons. It's not over yet. I grabbed the precious few firearms we had and split them between us. There's two of us and hundreds of them. There's no point. Not to mention your terrible shot. You're right, taking them head on would be suicide. And that's not what you will be doing. Me, I'm just some nobody, but you are the big man's daughter after all. Your word means a lot to them. She was horrified. I would be too if I were in her shoes right now. No, I won't let you do this, Dread. We don't have a choice, look around. Look, I'm not happy either, but us both dying here would be worthless. But if you live, you get the second chance to make it out of here. A second chance to see the other side. I know, but what's the point if it's not with you? You have to find that out yourself. They're almost here. Come on, we are running out of time. Her hands were shaking. It looked like she was going to drop her gun any second. I hate you for this, you know? I know, and I'm sorry. She slowly raised her arms and trained the gun trained the gun's sight directly at me. And now we wait. Can you do me a favor? What's that? Don't shoot the face, please. I'm rather proud of it. I don't know what I would do without my supernaturally good looks. She laughed through the tears. I would have still loved you, even without them. Right, back at you, cat. She kissed me for her last time. I love you, Dread. I love you too. Sorry, but it's gonna be the face. Let me just take off the safety. Wait, I didn't sign up for this. Hit my favorite sound one last time. I could hear the guards coming now. We have only seconds left. On the bright side, I won't owe you $10. Our bet? She laughed. I think it's pretty clear who won the bet. I could see the guards now. My time is up. What makes you say you did it? I'm alive. Everything hurt so bad I almost wish I wasn't. The shock must have knocked me out cold. I coughed up blood as my vision flashed in and out rapidly, too fast to tell if I had been fatally shot. It was all I could do to try to stay conscious. It's as you said, Father. Anyone who breaks our law must be punished. I could just barely make out her voice, but it brought comfort to me. You really do take after me. You've made your old man very, very proud. Oh, will you look at that? Looks like our little hero's got some life left. You know, Dread, you're in luck. See, the whole escaping thing, I'm afraid I'm going to have to fire you. No severance. I tried to make a witty comment back, but the only thing that came out of my mouth was coughed up blood. But you're in luck, and your opportunity just opened up, and I think he kicked me in the stomach, and then rolled me over with his foot. You would be the perfect fit. He laughed as he crushed my palm under his foot. You might think I'm going soft on you, but not killing you outright. He looked down at me, then back at her. But mark my words. Wow. You will both wish I had. Do whatever you want. I don't care about Dread anymore. He laughed mechanically. I never did like Dread much anyway. My vision's fading. His words turned to a vapor, as I could feel myself crumple into nothing. The last thing I saw was her face. She was holding the river back with everything she had. Who are you going to fool with a poker face like that? Cat. I love you. I always have. I always will. I'm so sorry for what I forced you to do. Even more so, I'm so sorry that you will be alone now. But I hope one day you will understand. Flashback to reality, I've almost reached Cat. I pushed myself to run faster and faster than I've ever ran in my life. Cat doesn't see him, but she sees the alarm going off in my eyes. Damien points his gun at his daughter. He's preparing to take the shot. Cat starts to turn around, but there's no time. Damien's finger pulls back on the trigger. What am I doing? I see the word turn to slow motion. Why am I throwing away my life for Cat? These memories, they are mine, yet not at the same time. Who can say if I'm the same person as before who loved her so much? Who can say if these memories form a completely different me compared to what I am now? There's no time for answers. Even if I have forgotten you over and over, somehow I remember you, and I know that I would do anything for you. I run past Cat and throw myself in front of her, because I love her. A gunshot rings out. It's like my body struck him by lightning and set aflame. He fires again and again. Undescribable pain ripples across my body as shot after shot ripped through me. It's not like the movies, where someone can stand after being shot over and over. The firing stops and my vision starts to fade. I can barely hear him reloading over the sound of my body screaming in agony. My knees buckle, I start to fall. As I fall, I can see Cat with a gun trained on Damien. There's no fear in her eyes. Her hands aren't shaking, but she's biting her lips so hard that I can see it bleeding. The last thing I see before the dark takes me is a finger pressing down on the trigger. Wake up, Dread. Oh, ich habe überlebt. Please, please don't die. Okay, noch habe ich überlebt. What's happening? Am I alive? I had never heard her sound so desperate. Please, just wake up. I can't lose again, not again. It took everything I had just to open my eyes and breathe. Cat was cradling me in her arms, with tears streaming down her face. Thank God. Don't pass out again, you almost gave me a heart attack. Sorry, Cat, I coughed up blood. Save your strength. Did you get him? We did. That's great. The switch? We should be able to get it now, but you are in no shape to walk. And to be honest, I'm not in the best shape either. I looked up at her and felt my heart drop. You have been shot. She laughed. Yeah, now that I know what it feels like, I'm even more sorry for shooting you back then on the beach. There was nothing else you could have done, Cat. That didn't stop me from regretting it every second of the past 2 years. That day I made a promise to myself. It didn't matter how many people I would have to hurt, or how much I would have to hurt. I would get off this island alive and well, even if it was the last thing I did. Even if I had to see you fall in love with somebody else 100 times. Even if I knew it meant I could never be with you again. I made a promise back then, and I will keep it even if it kills me. Slowly, Cat tried to lift me off from the ground and onto her back. She screamed and coughed up blood as she tried to lift me up. Stop, you're getting yourself killed. Then that's exactly what I am going to do. She lifted me onto her back and took one step back towards the switch. I told myself back then. She stepped forward again, her legs were trembling. That if you weren't leaving this island alive, neither would I. Another step closer. Because I love you, you know? One more step. I know you don't remember most of our time together. Her breath was getting wrecked. She would take several steps, then have to pause for breath. Honestly, I'm glad you even remember bits and pieces. I'm grateful for whatever I can get. The switch is inside. And maybe then maybe the you I fell in love with doesn't even exist anymore. We are so close to it, yet so far. But I would like to believe it's still you, Dread. That you are still the same Dread that I fell in love with. Aww. You are just steps away from the switch. That I'm still the one you love. She laughed bitterly. It's just wishful thinking, I know. We're here. We made it, She coughed up blood again. Need to put your hand on the scanner. Can you do that? Got it. I used the last of my strength to reach my hand forward. With every inch I drew closer to it, my vision grew darker. I pushed harder and harder with everything I had. Got it. My turn. Done. All that's left is to pull the switch. Sorry, Dread, I'm going to have to put you down for a second. No problem. Cat gently rested me on the ground. Fuck, I can barely stand now. She tumbled towards the switch. She managed to catch it with her hands and used it to keep herself upright. Here we go. The moment we had all been waiting for. She pulled it with the last of her strength. A second later she fell to the ground by my side. The cacophony of machinery filled the stadium. That must be the barrier opening. We did it, Dread. I'm sorry, Dread. What for? I don't think we're getting out of here after all. I can't even move. It's okay. We had a good run, you know? I guess you could say that. At least the girls will be able to get out of here. They deserve better than to die here. Yeah. I love you, Dread. I always have and always will. For the last 2 years, I dreamed of us starting a new life together, somewhere far from here. But I guess life is not like the movies. Dreams don't come true. I wish we could have met in a different place, a different time. Maybe, just maybe, then, Dread, we... Cat? Cat? Her eyes were closed. Streams of tears ran down from both of her eyes. My vision blurred even more as tears welled up in my eyes. If we could have met in a different place, a different time, I'm sure our story would have been so different. I wish we could have. Cat. I tried to move closer to her, but my body refused. It was all I could do to move my head around. I looked around in futility. by some kind of miracle that could save us both. This is too sad an ending. I looked to Cat. I looked to the heavens, which had all but abandoned us. I looked behind us, and I saw what could only be described as angels. I tried to speak, but no words would come out. I must be dreaming. I must be I. The word turned black. Am I dead? If I keep asking myself that, it's bound to be right sooner or later. But somehow I think there's more to come in my story. And I know there's one person that I want to spend the rest of my I love you. Okay. Ich wähle Cat. Für die restlichen habe ich extra gespeichert, damit ich die dann auch nochmal machen kann, aber hier wähle ich jetzt definitiv Cat. I love you, Cat. I woke up in an unfamiliar room. Is the room shaking? I tried to get up. Oh fuck. I looked down to my body. I had been bandaged up enough to look like a mummy, but I'm alive. Dread, you're up. Hey Yui, where are we? We are on the boat. We are miles away from the island by now. That's a relief. Everyone okay? I will let you be the judge of that. You ran off and came back a few moments later. You had us worried, Dread. I'm so glad to see you alright. You didn't make it easier to save you either. Oh, and if you find yourself craving brains or bananas, it's entirely unrelated to how I treated you. I'm just thankful it worked. It's so good to see you safe and sound, Dread. If you died after all we have been through, I would kill you. Funktioniert nicht so ganz, Terror, aber egal. But I'm really happy that you are here for me to say that too. You did great, Dread. The Resistance could use somebody like you. Besides, it doesn't look like you have a real job anymore, huh? Thanks, guys. You really stuck out your neck to save Cat and I. And I could never thank you enough. It's what you would do for all of us, Dread. Indeed, we ran after you two just moments after you had left. There was no point in us escaping if it wasn't with you, Dread. Yeah, I know, Cat said not to, but hey. I didn't remember that at the time, so it's all good. We managed to save the Brothers 5 too. I couldn't just let them be stranded after, well, all that we've been through together. I'm glad to hear that. There's no way we could have escaped without them. I nervously looked around the room. Is Cat? Cat's doing well too. She's resting in the room next door. She didn't think you wanted to see her. I see. Thanks for letting me know, Yui. I should be thanking you. None of us would have made it off the island if it wasn't for you and Cat. It's true, despite whatever you may hear Terra say. I'm just saying I have a pretty mean right hook. It's so good to see you all. I've got no idea what the word ahead has for each of us, but whatever it has in store, we'll face it together. You bet. I'm surprised you can say that with a straight face, but yes, I wouldn't have it any other way. I couldn't really use you as a PR person from the Resistance, Dread. You've got a thing for speeches. Wait a minute, if everyone's here and Cat's next door, who's driving the boat? Everyone looked at Terra. And that's a serious exit for Terabyte. For Terabyte, oh god. She ran off like a cartoon character. We laughed together. It felt like it has been so long since we could just laugh. No cameras, no fear, just friends fooling around. Anyway, it's so good to see you're okay. That said, team, we need to give Dread some time to rest. Once again, I'm not trying to quarantine you because you didn't use a zombie virus unique properties to save you. Thanks, Scarlet. And thank you everybody for coming to see me. Was hat's eigentlich mit diesem Zombie-Virus? Don't mention it. We are all in this together. All that, right? See you later, Dread. Alright, enough with the cheese. Get out before Dread turns I mean, before Dread needs rest. Yes? And with that, I was all alone. Ooh, I thought they would never leave. Hey Scarlet, what's up? Nothing, I just... She was hiding a syringe behind her back. Need to give you a shot for good luck. Right. I put my arm out forward. Where the doctor knows best. I am not a doctor. She injected the good luck into my arm. I just wanted to say thanks again. My life went off in the rails back at the island even before the show. That's putting it lightly. She laughed. I know, if I stayed there, I never would have been truly happy for the rest of my life. I never would have been able to help people ever again. So thank you again, Dread. You've been out, so there's no way you would know, but today's the day that would have been the last day of the show, the final ceremony where you ask one of the girls to be with you. Now, I'm not saying anyone's rushing for a proposal, but I think everyone's to hear an answer from you. That kind of decision takes some time to think over, so I figured you would need a little space. Thanks, Scarlet, you're right. It's my pleasure. She kissed me on the cheek. Well, I will see you later. See you, Scarlet. And then I was alone in the room. It's a tough choice, but I know I have to make. They're all such incredible people. I would be lucky to be with any of them, anyone would. I sat in silence for a time, both resting and contemplating what to do. I said a life of excitement with Ellie, a life of rediscovery with Scarlet, a life enjoying the simple things with Yuri, a life challenging our limits with Violet, a life of freedom with Tara, and then I just knew. I got up from my bed. I walked to the door of my room and looked to the room next to mine. There, I looked through the window and I just knew. I opened the door. Hey. Hey, Dread. You look like hell. You don't look much better. I'm surprised your face is intact. It has survived a lot now, hasn't it? Yeah. You know, the girls are hoping you will ask one of them out today. They will get the wrong idea if they see you here. I came here for you, Cat, and only you. You've been there for me, from even before I can remember meeting you. There's no way I could have ever gotten off this island, or anyone else could have, if it wasn't for you. And I know that there's so much we have to figure out, and so much we don't know in this world. But I know I want to face that world with you, Cat. Tears were streaming down her face. Oh, adorable. I didn't want to hope for it. I walked next to her and got down on one knee. I tried so hard to convince myself that it would never happen, because it was too painful to even hope. I don't even have a ring or anything, but I'm sure I can get one later. You don't need a ring. Will you marry me? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, er sieht echt süß aus. I love you, Cat. I love you too, Dread. More than you could ever know. Wherever life takes you is where I will go. We held each other close and kissed for the first time in years. Memories flooded back with each passing moment. The day we met, our first kiss, fights in the rain, making up, the joy of just being with the person you love. The day I proposed to her, the first time, and now today, and I'm sure there's many more to come. Here's to making new memories together, Cat. I love you. Damit haben wir Find Love or Die Trying abgeschlossen. Ich weiß jetzt noch nicht, was für ein Projekt ich als nächstes mache. Age of Empires wird es nicht sein, weil Age of Empires ja nebenbei noch läuft. Und nachdem ich die aktuelle Age of Empires Kampagne dann abgeschlossen habe, möchte ich eigentlich ganz gerne endlich mal Pathfinder starten. Dazu kommt noch, dass ich glaube am 16. September, ich glaube 16. September kommt ein Update für Pathfinder raus. Und eigentlich möchte ich es ganz gerne erst danach starten. Zudem möchte ich sowieso Pathfinder erst starten, wenn ich mein Setup neu aufgebaut habe. Der Rechner ist bestellt, der neue, also die Teile für den neuen Rechner ist bestellt, den schaue ich mir dann zusammen. Und ich hoffe, dass ich mein Setup vor meinem Urlaub fertig habe, damit ich dann nach meinem Urlaub direkt schon dementsprechend aufnehmen kann. Ich muss halt schauen, was ich hier jetzt erstmal nach diesem Projekt jetzt mache und ob ich das eventuell dann sogar schon mit dem neuen Setup versuche aufzunehmen. Ich weiß es nicht. Also ich werde es mindestens, also vielleicht werde ich es auch mit dem alten Setup erstmal anfangen und dann schauen und mit dem neuen dann weiter aufnehmen. Ich muss das erstmal sehen, wie das alles zeitlich alles passt. Noch bin ich ja auch in der Vorproduktion für meinen Urlaub. Also, ja. Man wird sehen, wie es dann kommt. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.